Hi class, welcome to your video summary for week 13. We're taking a look at chapter 12 this week, the economy, work, and working. Now remember, these social institutions all interact with one another, so I don't want you to forget about politics and education and religion, right? We're just moving into another phase of these institutions, and remember the book makes very specific. This is sites of everyday life. That's the idea here, is for you to really make connections to your social world. So first, obviously read your chapter, and the economy is a huge macro thing that surrounds us all. You may or may not understand all the ins and outs, but hopefully once you read the chapter, you'll just get some general gleanings of it. And then what I thought would be a good idea is for you to revisit the story of stuff, because it did a really nice job of lining up, right, that linear old school, and that's really a big part of our economy. She does a really nice job of explaining that part of our economy. And there's a new one out called Story of Broke, which takes a look at the Federal Reserve. I also have This American Life here, which explains the Federal Reserve. So both of those pieces I think are really important for the everyday person to understand, especially in light of the atmosphere that we have right now about our economy, especially because of the political nature, right, of economic decisions being made every day, and with the upcoming election, I mean it's a year away, but they're talking about it every day. So linking those two together I think is really important for you. This right here, How to Create a Job, it's a whole series that This American Life did with, I think it was with the Planet Money team, really talking about this is a real link between politics and economy, and the idea of what can politicians really do as far as creating jobs. Like, what can they do? And you'll understand that there are really just two ways of approaching that. So check that out. This is a link to the Human Development Index. I suspect all of you have heard of GDP, right? Or GNP, Gross Domestic Product, Gross National Product, right? And this is like the ubiquitous measure for how you doing, Venezuela? How you doing, United States? How are you, Finland, right? And trying to understand, how's the country doing? But there are groups out there that recognize that the GDP is a very flat measurement, and it does not take into account the humans that are involved, right, in the economy. So there are other ways of measuring how a country is doing, and this is one of them. There are others out there, but this is one that I want you to take a look at. When you click on this link, it should take you directly to a thing that you can compare and contrast GDP with HDI, so you can see how some countries, have a GDP very comparable to the United States, but when we look at the HDI of the United States and those comparable countries, we go up and we go down. So take a look at that, read about the HDI if it in any way interests you. It's a really, really, really interesting. Now what I'm doing is merging more into work and working. And the place that I want to focus is Walmart, because A, all of you know about Walmart, and B, almost all of you have shopped in Walmart within the last year of your life. Many of you probably shopped there yesterday. So we can take a look at Walmart, and it's okay to scrutinize Walmart because it is one of the biggest economies in the world, right? The largest employer, essentially, in the United States. And so it's a good place to look at our work ethics, the way that workers are treated, what our expectations are as workers, because Walmart, Disney, McDonald's, these big employers that are part of the new generation, not the old generation employers like the GEs and the car companies and the manufacturing plants. That's the old world, right? The newer world is the post-modern, less emphasis on manufacturing and more emphasis on service. So when we take a look at those kinds of businesses, they tell some really interesting stories. So you have 3 links that are specific to Walmart, and I want to explain. Walmart, the High Cost of Low Price, and Is Walmart Good for America are both from 2005. So they inhabit the same kind of reality And this is before Walmart got rid of the vests. This is before Walmart started to change some of their practices. And really this documentary and website associated with it were one of the reasons, behind kind of the social movement that started to wake up Walmart. That was part of the social movement. So check both of those out. This one is newer. The New Age of Walmart, that's a CNBC production, and it's maybe from last year, from 2010. So check that out, and you can see some of the shifts and some of the changes. I also encourage you to go out and find some recent articles. In the past 6 months, there have been quite a few court cases surrounding Walmart, in particular gender discrimination, and with I think it was managers or folks that are higher up in the corporation. So that's another place to look. I didn't link that for anybody else. I figured 3 links on Walmart is enough, but if it's something that interests you, just know that it's out there, and you can merge that with our inequality chapter. I also have this TED conference, and this is really nice. This guy wrote a couple of books, which are supposed to be really funny. I have not read them yet, but I read a synopsis, and then I listened to this TED conference, and I thought this is something that would be a nice round out for this chapter. Because here's the problem, is many of us spend so much time working for the people that we love that we don't get to spend time with the people that we love, right? We're planning for the future so much that we lose sight of our present. And so work-life balance is a phrase that if you haven't heard it before, it means you're probably fine. You probably have work-life balance, or perhaps you're so disconnected that it doesn't even occur to you. But many of us who work and go to school and have families and social obligations, that work-life balance is one of those things we are constantly playing with. So Nigel is funny, and his explanations and suggestions are pretty good. So check him out. And I think one of the things that would be fun to do before you watch him is to answer this question. What does your perfect day look like? Like, what is your ideal day? Answer that question, like, write out, right? What's your perfect day? And then watch this and see what his is, and see what he says about what our perfect days are. Okay, this is just right smack dab in the middle of this module, but we're getting really close to the end of the semester, so hopefully you're caught up on outstanding quizzes and reflections. So if you're getting behind, give me an email, send me a message, and let me know what's going on so you can get caught up. I got a few of you that are starting to scatter to the wind, and I want you to be able to complete the course. All right, that's about all I've got, and I'll see you online.